No, that's just Gunner as he falls.
Buonasera a tutti. Good evening. And you heard it from Rook.
That's the recap, guys. Let's get started.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. One of my overlays isn't working. Oh no. Oh dear. We love that. Oh, look at that. Now it works. How weird. Welcome everybody to session 47 of Fate's Grip. Good timing. And good timing for you to join us this evening. Yeah, I've got nothing else. But tonight is exciting. We've got some pretty awesome stuff happening, namely giveaways. Ooh, for our 1,000th. Oh, thank you so much, Gunnar, for that contribution. I like what is it?
Spirit Fingers.
Spirit Fingers, that's the one. It is. At half time, after the halfway break, we are going to announce the winner of our 1,000 follower giveaway. And this time we have an enormous amount of things that we are going to give away, including from Meeples and Dragons, a dragon bagon, an XL looking glass, a case for your own dice, and dice from Kraken Dice. Oh yes, a whole a whole list of things. So stay tuned. So stay tuned as we delve into the adventure and then give away stuff, which we love. Also trying to see the chat, which I can't see, which is amazing.
I can see it.
You can see it, yeah? Oh my gosh, everybody's hi. So hello. Ciao ragazzo, how are you? I can see the chat now.
Hey, can I do a shout out? Is that okay?
Please.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a person that thank you, Preston. Who mentioned us in a really nice tweet the other day. It was just like really weird to see this. But this person is Dungeon Mastery, and they mentioned us in a tweet basically saying, inspired by the many TTRPG streamers out there, and maybe Fate's Grip in particular, I've uploaded one of our recorded sessions from our ongoing home game campaign. Enjoy, we'll attempt a proper stream soon. And like, it was just something really small that was actually huge to us. Yeah. So Dungeon Mastery, if you're watching this, thank you. Means the world, and good luck with your game. We can't wait to tune into your stream and follow you guys.
Yeah,
I had a squiz. It was really, really cool. Loving the voices, and really cool flowing adventure too. So thank you. Really appreciate the comment. Awesome. So we had that. Ben, what did you want to shout out?
YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. You can see a lot of, I hope there's amazing content. That's for sure.
It's average at best. It's no big deal.
And you can catch up on some older episodes that we've put up there. There's a lot of fun things that have taken place from now up until, from back then up until now. And there's been some characters you may have missed as well. Who knows? There could be some characters that you could be missing after this session.
Barclays, Farizo, Jose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So many people.
So many voices. So many Michele's.
So many memes. Yes.
I know this is inappropriate timing, but I'm just going to send you a text message if that's okay.
Oh, great. No issue at all. Please send text messages. In the meantime, what else do we have to shout out that we would like to talk about before we recap? Anything else? Hello, everybody who's here. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way. I can see a whole, yeah. Look, I think so. I reckon.
Okay.
Let's just do it. Let's just, I think we're going to just scrap half time, and I think we're going to just announce it.
Because they're actually in the chat right now.
The winner is in the chat that you have.
Yeah, it is.
I was supposed to be informed about this information. So I actually don't know.
I'll whisper. I'll mute us.
Yeah. So we are going to announce the winner now because the winner was drawn and who is joined us in the chat right this moment. So, drum roll for that, and the winner of our 1,000 giveaway. Take it away.
Dead inside.
Dead inside. You're the winner. Congratulations.
Yes, D and Dead Inside.
D and Dead Inside, I believe, came from the raid last week. And when I drew the name, I was looking through all of the profiles that entered. And I clicked on it and I was like,
Amazing.
but particularly commented on the voices that you do, Michele. So super, super cool.
Congratulations, D and Dead Inside. That is really, really well deserved. Thank you so much, everybody, for entering as well and following us. I hope you like our content outside of our giveaways, obviously. And D and Dead Inside will be sending you that amazing package to wherever you like,
Wherever you're
really.
from.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Quebec, we're fine.
Yeah.
Is it Quebec? I'm so sorry if it's Quebec. We'll have to put it like into Canada somewhere else, and you have to just drive.
If I can tag on to the end of that, thank you so much for the participation that we're seeing in this as well.
Oh my gosh.
I have watched Emily spend a lot of time trolling through this, and I like to see her life difficult. So get all your friends, family members, come check it out and share, and check out for the code words that come up every now and again as well.
Yeah, so
In the
just
other
for some
streams.
clarity, there was just under 100 entries
Wow.
for this giveaway.
Wow.
So it was very, very, very difficult, but super exciting.
That's ridiculous. We'll be posting the congratulations on our Twitter as well, just to let everybody know who won. And it's not just this evening's giveaway, guys. We are set. We have some secret plans in the works that we cannot tell you about right now, that we are going to be working. We're going to be working with some pretty amazing people to give away even more stuff to you. So you guys are the winners, and we are honored to entertain you. So
We're the winners. We get to talk to these people.
well, that's true. That's true. You're the winners eventually when you get your prizes too. So with that said, do we have anything else that we'd like to share?
Someone inside checked us.
Oh, shivers. About the extra stuff that's happening soon?
Sorry, we're going to have to decline your insight check.
Yeah, I rolled in that 20. I denied everything.
Oh my god, NVCDM just commented saying, "Are we getting the commemorative plate?"
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
there was.
That was gonna happen. I should make that.
Well, no, there's
NVCDM, you gotta keep us accountable. Exactly. And by the way, speaking of accountable, hey Amara, when's that tattoo happening?
Yeah, so I posted about this. My chat just went psycho.
See you later, Z. Kick.
No, so I was looking at some places. With all of the COVID restrictions at the moment, it's actually really difficult to get into a place. I have a couple of places I've reached out to. I'm just waiting on Quo to come back. But as soon as I have an answer for you, I will announce the date of the stream. It has been highly requested that I stream this tattoo. I still have to decide where I'm getting it. And if it's an appropriate place to stream. But yeah.
Beautiful.
I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Awesome.
If anyone else in this group would also like to get the tattoo, you're more than welcome to join me. Because I think it's a group effort, right? We're all a group together.
That'd be right. I would vouch to do the tattoo if you.
He's not got any tattoos.
To give her the tattoo.
No, what?
Let's hold that thought, because I'm sure chat and Twitter are going to have a field day with that. We might just get 2 letters each tattooed to make up Fate script or something. I don't know.
FG.
Yeah.
Someone should get it like Fate's grip.
Yeah. True.
Fate grip.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then that was me though. I drew that out a bit. Last thing, obviously everybody can see by now, unfortunately we don't have our lovely Thorum this evening. We will be working with Gunnar, Amara, and Rook this evening.
We're all gonna die.
Sit back, enjoy, and let us recap from episode 46 into 47.
Recap.
So, as we left off from last week, down in the deep of the battle-ridden city of Krona Peak, where we find a group of adventurers moving through silently and in searching for the secret drow city of Tel Narkel. You walked through rubble and web, seeing skirmishes won and lost, barricades on the capital's entrance, remnants of a civilization. You found and conversed with a tipsy dwarf, untouched by the Red Death, a coward who captured a drow while hiding away from the carnage. You interrogated the dark elf he caught, and with Gunnar's powers and Amara's brawn, you unraveled his magic resistances and became friends, while Rook unfurled a draconic prophecy Osei, the late Osei, had on her person to reveal a different outcome of her fate. With the dwarf's magic, you found yourselves suddenly skipping a lot of the potential hazards this now desecrated capital city, Krona Peak, would offer, and found yourselves entering a deep jeweled mine, a start on your 2-day journey. The drow led on, triggering and avoiding traps, and here we pick up where Gunnar failed his attempt to cross a large pit in the ground, falling through a magic trap. So, as you all watch Valsa and the drow and Amara, you are still on one side. Rook, you didn't make it to the other end of this 10-foot gap yet, have you?
No, I'd be on the opposite end with
Thorum. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Gunnar, you start to fall, and you, as your sweaty hands slip from the anxiousness, you simply feel air. Now, at the end of last session, you all wanted to do something. Tell me what you wanted to try and do. I heard like a shout, and then I ended it. So if you wanted to do something,
I will transform into my thought form.
all right.
Take that little bad boy off. So once more, Gunnar's body will grow to the size of a fully grown adult, and it will appear to be made up of pure light, basically. Yeah, as he falls.
Okay. So,
Can I also ask?
please.
You had to hold a feather token, didn't you, for it to work?
Correct. You did have to, in fact, just have it in your hand and activate a small button on it.
Okay.
Can I? Where's the drow at this point?
The drow is, in fact, in front of you, simply looking on.
On the other side?
No, he's with you. You jumped over with him, and you're on the same side, and he's looking down, concerning but not acting at this point.
I'm gonna hold my quarterstaff, like, ready at this guy. I'm gonna, like, hold ready to bop him on the head.
All right. He turns as you do this, and while everything's happening, he looks at you direct and he says, "What are you doing? I am here to help." And you look over as you see Gunner disappear underneath this rock trap, and instead of Gunner, you see instead this glowing light, a familiar sight now, one you saw only moments or minutes ago, where you're now floating. Is that correct, Gunner? Or you still do fall?
I still fall.
So Gunner falls, and you finally, after what seems to be, in your mind, minutes, but only seconds pass, but you feel a slam on the ground as you do still feel pain, but not as much as you might have once thought. Let me roll some dice.
We're all so silent because it's so tense. What are you doing?
21 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam onto the ground. This small 10-foot by 5-foot simple darkness on solid rock.
Is that halved?
Well, yes, it is. So no, that's full. So you halve that. Sorry, you halve that. I see what you mean.
So 10.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'll roll a concentration check.
please.
Oh no. Rook's just like standing there. He doesn't care.
So it rolled onto a kraken and then rolled back onto an 8. So that is a 12.
Okay.
So
And how far away is the spell supposed to be? What's the distance that you can be away from this subject of this charm person?
It's not charm person. It was suggestion.
Suggestion? How far away can you have suggestion?
I don't think. Where is it? I don't think there was a limit on distance.
30 feet.
That's to cast. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you describe to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration, which is 8 hours.
Perfect.
If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes the task it was asked to do.
Sounds good.
Which was be my friend, which
Correct.
I don't think it can.
Alrighty. So, with that, you see this drow take out from his person another 50-foot long hemp rope and start to push past you, Amara, and start to draw it over the hole. But as he starts to do so, from above, everyone but Gunnar can hear this. This slight, starting to be a breeze, which turns into an echo, which turns into a... And this screech just through the hallway just continues down like a scream of pain. I need everybody but Gunnar to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh no! Okay, Aimcraft, don't fail me now. Oh, it was a natural 1! And I get no modifier.
15.
A 15? Okay. So, the drow also seem to not be as affected as you, Amara, as you just hold your head inward and you suddenly look up with this throbbing pain in all of your heads. But Amara, you see in front of you the sconces of the small flames that are lighting up this hall suddenly burst and become fireballs and expand more and more, and you feel the heat of them almost overtake you as they crisscross now as like a web, a burning web throughout this entire hall, like just even 1 foot from you. So everybody is going to take
Oh no.
30 points of psychic damage apart from Gunner. 30 points of psychic damage for everybody at the
I have
moment.
resistance.
Yep.
Yes.
So you take half that. So does the drow, though. As you can see him wince in pain and just hold his head, you can see some, he sneezes and this instinctively, and this like blood just pours out of his nose from the pressure. You don't hear anything, Gunner, but you do feel a bit of pain as your thought form just shifts.
I'm assuming I'm prone.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see through the illusion, or?
As you look up, you notice in that moment, rock start to build up and start to close this hole, this illusionary hole. It's like this crumbling sound, and you all hear it now too. You look over and you see, just wincing, and you see this rock start to build up more and more, starting to close this hole.
Gunner.
Like physical hard rock.
Physical hard rock is starting to just move and take shape around, trying to trap you inside.
Gunner. Are you alive?
I will attempt to climb out.
Okay.
Did the drow manage to throw that rope?
Yep.
Or not?
Yep. The rope has fallen, and you see it just about. It is admittedly about 5 feet above you. If you can try and grab a hold of that.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my camera to focus again.
That's all good.
Yeah. So do I have to try and grab it first?
Mm-hmm.
You say?
Right. No. You're tall enough to grab it. If you want to try and climb up, make an athletics check.
So good at that.
Evidently the first time.
2.
Oh no!
You get about 5 feet and you simply fall. Your thought form somehow just not really taking hold of that rope too well. And you see probably by now, the rock close in about halfway.
I'm going to jump across. Do you want me to make an acrobatics check?
Acrobatics or athletics, yeah.
6.
Oh my god!
6, okay. As you jump, you see below you this rock starting to mold over this gap, and you try and put your foot onto a particular point where you felt like it had purchase, it had strength, but it cracks underneath your feet, and you fall. And you fall further and further, and slam on top of this gunner in thought form, and hit the side of the rock. You will take.
It's in the fucking hole.
Oh, look at that later. "18 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam almost headfirst onto the ground, and you are now prone as well.
Is that on me?
Falls on you, but you don't get too affected by that crash of Rook's. It's more of a ricochet off the side, but he slams next to you, and he's in pretty bad shape.
Did I notice the rock crumble?
Yes.
I'll cast pulse wave. So this like cone of like light and force will erupt upwards from my body, sort of seemingly just coming straight out of my body. And it has to do a con save, so I don't know what you want to do there. But if the object either can't do a constitution save or...
It's immediately affected. It just depends on the damage.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So it takes 66 force damage.
What's the
on
range?
Failed save. And I can either pull it towards me or push it away from me. So I'm going to push it away from me, 15 feet away. So I'm trying to blast it back open again.
Okay, go for it.
Cool.
What's the drow doing?
He's just holding that rope hard. He's actually has laid down now on his stomach and is just holding it tight, waiting for someone to take that rope and bring it up.
Is Celeste with us?
Yeah, she is.
What's she doing?
She hasn't had her turn yet. And she actually does also have her head, like her hands around her head and just eyes closed and wincing. But as Gunnar finishes the spell, she'll act. What did you roll?
30 force damage.
30 out of 36. Jeez.
I also have that ability called Empowered Psionics.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
which I got at level 10, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So that's +5 to any psychic or force damage I do.
Fair. Good call. You look up and you see this just force wave just slam upward, and like this quick moving cloud, it shunts up into the air, and the rock and rubble that was starting to mold just gets shattered completely up. It's a thin layer, it seems, and Thorum, Malestra, and this drow will need to make dexterity saving throws or get hit by shards of rock.
Do I have to as well?
Yeah, you're up there too, please. Dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god, it's a nat 1 again. But it's +7, so it's an 8.
It's jail.
No, it's fine. It's gonna be okay.
Jeez.
I believe in the Aeon craft.
Amara, you take 3 points of piercing damage as you just get bludgeoning as you get slammed by some of these smaller pebbles. Some bruises start to form. Malestra and the drow saved, and Thorum, and they just all jut back a little bit and go onto the sides and away from that explosion. The rock doesn't seem to come closer together anymore. It doesn't seem to want to mold anymore. It simply has the opening, and everything then becomes a bit still. As you watch, and as you feel, Rook and Gunnar, you feel yourself start to lift involuntarily, as Amara, you look over and you see Malestra just close her eyes and start to raise her hand. And you feel yourself lifting higher and higher slowly, not violently at all, off the ground. And you are being levitated out, and as maybe only 10 or 12 seconds pass, you've made it out of this hole, and you're placed gently on the far side where you are both supposed to continue down the path. Malestra and Thorum still on the other side.
Malestra, could you not have maybe done that before they jumped over the hole?
I had no way of suggesting it. You all seemed to have a plan. Once again, you are welcome.
I say nothing.
No matter what the group thinks, we are all in this all together.
And it does
I'm not
not.
faring so well now.
I see
Gunnar
this.
may have been the end of his life. I took the time to come and save you.
Yeah, you did.
What more would you have me ask? Do you
Well,
wish to leave here alive as well?
I do with everyone here. Everyone.
I'm glad to hear that, but we need to cooperate. And I turn to Amara. Keep your bickering aside. We can lose our lives here. Let's act as a group.
I agree.
Gunnar, are you alright?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Gunnar, are you alright?
What did you say? Oh, I will revert back to my normal state.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
And Thulram,
Yeah.
we could use some healing if now's an opportune time.
Yes, Thulram, that would be really good.
Yeah, I gotcha. And he closes his eyes and holds both of his hands out, and he casts Healing Word on all of you.
Hell yeah.
Let's have
You know the reason we kept him around.
But healing.
Healing Word will be... Where are you? Healing Word, there you are. Let's go D4s. So... he's going to cast that at 4th level. So... 3, 5,
4th level. Nice.
9, 12, 12 plus. So 18 points of healing each as you get reinvigorated by the healing word of Ado. Melestra also looks over and gives him a bit of a respectful nod, and she turns and says, "It is good, Gunnar, that you have still power over him. If you need a hand with that, let me know, and I can override this charm."
I'm good for now. Let's just keep going.
Okay. And she sort of whips her robe around her and simply floats over to the other side, grabbing Thulram in the meantime and bringing him over as well, quite gracefully, really. Well, shall we continue then? If she looks back at the trap, if we are to find others like this, we are to be more prepared. Rook, you said you were somewhat skilled with finding traps. Could you perhaps go ahead instead of this drow, who I'm still a little suspicious with?
I can try. I'm unfamiliar with the drow and how they set their traps, but...
Well, so far we have seen simple magical traps, but to uncover them, it shouldn't be as difficult as if it was a simple, mundane thing.
Out of character question,
Yeah,
what would I be rolling to check for traps?
yeah, good question. Investigation.
Investigation, okay. So, just a highlight there. It was suggested that I was good at it. I'm not actually very good.
That's fair.
You are good at it. What are you talking about?
Back in character, I can try. Is Molester quite close to me?
Yes, she is.
I whisper to her, or I get closer to her to speak. Like, not privately, but as private as you can, a group around people. When you have a moment, I wish to work with you. And I'll look for an opportune moment to speak to her privately.
In your mind, she immediately responds and she says, "We can talk like this if you prefer."
I'm familiar with this. We should venture forth, and I will speak to you as we travel.
Very well.
And I say to her, you must forgive Amara. It's not been easy for us in our travels, particularly just a few moments ago. Are you familiar with Jose?
I know she has been traveling with you for some time.
This is all in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know anyone who does this turns into a companion, then a friend. And if she was lost, you have my condolences.
And I'd ask you this. Have you ever lost anyone in your travels? Someone you were close to?
Many, Rook. I wear that grief every day.
Then I'd ask a favor. Remember that grief when you deal with Amara. She doesn't mean to lash out. And we're in a place where we may not come back from. It's going to take a strong heart and head to get through this, and I believe we can do this with your help. We wish for your counsel.
Even standing, she just nods slowly, as though she's inspecting the wall just next to her. She's sort of putting her fingers on the rock, as though making sure that nothing else is going to jump out. But in your mind, she says, "Wise words, Rook. Perhaps I must be more patient. Thank you for the counsel."
I speak to her. When we're out of here, we can have it in a pub over a drink.
Let us wish for this at the end. And she looks at you all and this drow, Valsa, and just starts to walk ahead. She then turns a little bit and gestures for you, Rook, to get ahead of her. Amara, you are seeing at this time your friends walk through fire.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
You can see flames along them on their skin. They don't seem to be reacting, but every now and again you see a hit of a hand on an arm that's aflame to try and take off whatever burning sensation they might be feeling. You see the flames get hotter, or feel them get hotter and hotter as the sconces don't abate, as though this hallway has just been an explosion has come through here and is not stopping. And you feel that heat, and you're not quite sure as to why your friends are not doing more to prevent their own harm.
Guys, stop walking.
I guess I stop after having that conversation and turn casually around. Amara.
Can you not feel that? It's
Hey.
boiling. It's all over you. And
No.
you? And all of you.
Amara, you watch as Gunner's cape just starts to burst into flame by the contact, and his almost half of his body seems to be affected, and he's simply standing there.
How far is he from me?
10 feet?
I'm gonna dive at him and try and put out the flames.
Okay, as you dive towards him, the flames envelop you and the heat overtakes you, and you take some damage from this flame. Yeah.
Oh no. There's a lot of dice rolling.
51 points of fire damage as you... Oh, actually, yeah, for the purposes of this, 51 points of fire damage as you just become enveloped in flame, and you can see that your skin is peeling, and you have these shock moments of reminiscence of Malestra getting out of this lava and burning. And you look down and you see that your hair is singed. You can smell that acrid, and you can see on your skin it's bubbling.
I am like crying out in pain. And I do not look good.
You both watch, and Thurum says, "Amara, what's up?" And you all see Amara just curl into a ball and start to scream.
Yeah, I don't say anything, I just scream.
So she is just on the ground, seemingly fine, other than she's screaming.
Yep.
What's going on? I look at the drow.
Go on, Amara.
Can I reach for something on my person?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I want to pull out my last healing potion.
Okay.
And I would like to absolutely use it.
Go for it.
Okay.
As you do that, the drow turns towards you, Gunnar, and he sort of... his head goes to one side for a moment. This must be... something of the mind. Something is affecting her. This trap. It's not physical. The drow. We have also experimented with interrogation methods. This seems to be something that affects... disables them. Makes them mad. I would do something about this, and quickly.
I'm just like putting myself out where I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna yell, "I'm on fire!"
Okay.
Thorum, can you do something?
He looks over and he says, he walks straight over to Amara at this point, and kneels down but doesn't touch her, just out of caution, because it looks like she did just scream that she's on fire. He doesn't want to go any closer than a few feet, and he holds his hand up for a moment. Won't be a second. He's going to just roll a quick check for a second.
Thorum, you're the cleric.
He turns towards you, Gunnar, and he says, "This doesn't look like the power of a religious god. It looks more like your sort of magic."
Yeah, but I can't restore her. Can you?
Let me find out.
In the meantime, I'm just fetal position.
Mm-hmm.
Wriggling around.
If this is her mind, then it's less of physical problem and more of a condition, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. He then holds his hand out with that particular announcement of yours, and he holds his hand on you, Amara, and you feel through the heat, through this unbearable pain, a warming dragonborn, and then a cool hand in its stead. And then a moment passes. And suddenly everything stops. You feel no pain, nor fire, and you don't see any more of this heat. The room is as you remember it before the trap was set, although you are still quite damaged.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like shaking hands and just like looking at everyone and saying, no one else saw that? No one else felt that?
No.
There's fire everywhere. Like, all of the sconces on the wall, they were all... Gunnar, you were on fire. Your cloak caught fire.
No. That didn't
Was
happen.
this in your mind?
Didn't feel like it was in my mind. Felt very real. Especially the part where I was on fire.
That's the power of the mind, Mar.
I don't like this place.
It is, and the drow continues speaking, one of many things we may encounter here. If you are weary at this point, I would be very concerned for your well-being going forward.
I'm gonna look at the group and I'm gonna say, he's right. If I get hurt like that again, I'm not waking up or snapping out of it this time. I'm dying. We're not ready for this.
Might I ask, with the conversation that we had with the dwarf, we've travelled only a day. It was 3 days to get to where we needed to go. Is that correct?
That's right. So the dwarf said that you were to travel probably... It actually was only a few hours ahead of time, and you in fact have 2 days remaining, yes.
So we'll have to rest one more time.
We can't
Potentially
rest in
twice.
here. We can't rest in
Not
here.
right now, but we can find somewhere. And I turn to Amara and... Sorry, 1 second. I turn to Amara and fine. Am I dealing with something? If anybody wants to jump in, go ahead.
While you do that, the drow folds up his rope again, and he simply puts it away, and he says, if anyone needs a helping hand, I am always here.
Forgive me, you said that you wanted to eat us, so I don't know if I trust your hand.
So, I turn to Amara, and where my silver, I guess, glows in my veins from previous, a light, dim light of blue, almost like a teal color, starts glowing around Amara.
What the-
4, 8, and 7.
You just said numbers. too.
19.
You're here for 19 points.
19 points. Ooh.
All right.
I'm gonna look at Rook and at Gunnar. And at Molester as well at this point. And just say, Thank you, Rook. I still don't think we're ready.
No, we're not. Not right now.
No, I mean, at all.
Well,
We've traveled hours into this cave. We have 3 days worth of travel. We're being sent on a mission to die. I've said that from the start. We are not meant to survive this.
we are.
This is way beyond us at this point. I've never in all of our travels been so certain about turning back. Think about who sent us here. Farizo pushed us to come here. Farizo. He didn't want us to survive. And if he did, he wanted it for his own reasons.
I don't think he wanted to kill us. It was Malestra appearing that forced his hand.
Do you really think we can make it through this entire cavern and then fight the Mother Matron and survive?
Well, I don't think we should head on in like head first, but maybe there's another way that we can achieve what we're trying to do. Firstly, though, I think what's more important than getting rid of her is, is Thorum supposed to heal people? I thought that was the point of this.
We got sent here by... Do you remember the conversation with the king?
Yeah.
I think they're two separate things. In the same place. Well, she's causing it, right? She's part of the reason that it's being caused. And stopping her is going to stop it from happening.
Permanently,
Permanently, yeah. But that doesn't mean that we can't heal people in the meantime. Maybe what we need to be doing is doing this in reverse. Let's go and heal everyone first. And then we have an army behind us versus just 4 of us coming into this cavern.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, there you go. We're on the same page.
Malestra pops in again and says, I told you an army should be coming from the other cities in the Mirror Holds.
Where will we meet them?
And, well, provided that they are not stopped because of traps like this, it could be they are on their way to where we are going.
Could be is not that reassuring, so...
It is not reassuring to me either.
Then
who's with them? Who's bringing them?
The Duke Riniont, the dwarf archmage of Arcanix, of House Kundarak, of the dwarves. No, you haven't. One of the 12. He has been, since the Red Death, gathering secretly, avoiding the drow until he has strength. He will come, and there will be your army. And while they are, the drow, that is, while they are occupied, we can strike together.
Then we need to wait.
But how... Go on.
Sorry. Did I not see him in the vision
You did.
that I had?
Yes, you did. You haven't met him, but yes, you do know what he looks like. Absolutely. He has this beautiful bronze skin, and he has these large cat-like eyes, like really beautiful and oval shape, and he has like this light blue hair that is quite long and ends in a long ponytail. You gathered through seeing him, he almost looks like a half dwarf, half something else. Another race, perhaps.
I'll turn to what's her name? Malestra, and I'll say, have you got anything of his, maybe something he's given you in the past, or I don't know, something that can help me find him better?
She sort of thinks for a moment, eyes squinting, and then shakes her head and she says, "No, I apologize. I do not have something of his. When he gets close enough, I will be able to contact him. So we have to get closer to our destination in order for us to time it perfectly. So you are in minimal danger."
Then you know of the instruction of where we're supposed to be.
Yes. Tell Nakel, the secret dwarf, the secret drow city under this capital.
What do we do when we get there, though? That seems a little bit overzealous. If we just rock up there, like, what's to stop them from just killing us?
Invisibility, stealth. We continue to use our magic there. Hopefully, they are distracted by an encroaching army.
Can I roll insight on her, please?
Sure, go for it.
I want to, what I want to try and understand is if there's any ulterior motive to what she's saying, and if she actually believes the words coming out of her own mouth.
Sure, go for it.
That's inside.
I'll be
Oh.
back in 1 second.
Sure.
That was a terrible roll for me. 16.
16? Okay. So far, everything that she has mentioned, she simply truly believes. And it's as though she is reciting a plan that she might have made a while ago, because the words that are coming out of her mouth are methodical. They're not. She's not. It doesn't seem like she's making them up on the spot. It sounds like this plan has in fact been in fruition. Perhaps not necessarily your coming here, but certainly the promise of this dwarven army.
I turn to speak to the group. There's no other way. We head back to an exit that we have no idea that it's where. We continue on our journey, hopefully rendezvous with the army, and then you can make your decisions on whereabouts you want to go then. Surely they've cleared a path from wherever they've been to here, and if you wish to leave, then go. But I would aim my heart at this cause to save many, not just the dwarves, not the elves, but all of Corvair, and see what my destiny lies. If I die, at least I die doing the right thing.
I'm not questioning the cause, Rock, and I'm not questioning that we should do it. We definitely should do it, but we shouldn't do it like this. We've been through 3 traps. 3 that we know of. And one of them almost killed me, one of them almost killed the drow, and another one almost killed both you and Gunnar.
Almost. Almost isn't dead.
Yeah, but 3 out of ours.
And there will be plenty more.
And yeah, there will be.
And we'll see to overcoming them. Together.
You spoke to me about sacrifice.
Yes.
And I'm willing to sacrifice myself for a cause, but you have to understand that this is not the only cause, and this is not my only cause. And I don't know if this is the one worth dying for me.
Then when we meet with the army, you'll have another decision to make.
We need more than this. It can't just be us.
And what direction should we go if you do not wish to press forward the plans?
What do you mean?
Where would you go
Where would I go?
from here?
Back the way we came.
To where? Remember, we were ported here.
No, well, however, remember the instructions on how to get to where we got.
And where would we go from there?
I don't know. Reinforcements back to Shan? Let's bring people with us. If this is so important to the 12, then why are they not all here?
There will be more. There's one already coming with an army.
That's one. There's 12 of them.
Well, there's one here, and I look to Molestra. One that I trust. And two that we've killed. I'd rather take my odds with the one that I trust than the others.
I mean, technically we didn't kill one of them. She was already dead.
Melissa turns to you all and she says, if I could have everyone here, I would. The cause may not suit all. It is selfish for the 12 to ask you to go into danger like this. It is true. But we are in disarray. 2 of us are dead, as you have said. We have fallen apart somewhat.
Count Bavi was replaced, though, wasn't she?
Yes.
So really, there's only one of you dead now.
Nothing like this has ever happened before. Not really. Betrayal. It has rocked us. And it is not for this reason that they are not here. They have their own assignments. If it would ease your mind, Amara, and you all, I have one other, more powerful than what I have done so far. I can make sure that nothing will be in our path and stop us before we get to our quarry. It will simply be travel. That is not traps anyway. I cannot avoid perhaps intruders, but one of my most powerful things is that I can make someone to simply pass through the traps and trigger them for us. I am of House Kenneth, after all. Shall I make such a thing?
I think I'm part of that house now, too.
You are. Your dragon mark is worthy. But I oversee the house and what it represents. I can make a being that will allow us safe passage. But once we get to this place, tell Nakel that power will not be there to aid us for what we see next. That is the compromise. You choose.
I would say that we have 3 days of travel. Is it going to get us through all 3?
Yes.
I would also say that one... Is it a spell?
I cast it, yes.
One spell for the safety of 4, 5, 6 lives is probably worth it.
I agree. So,
Amara, I'll let you make this decision.
Very generous.
I
What do you
was... Thorum... Oh, you go on. Go on.
Sorry.
I said, what do you
Sorry?
think, Gunnar?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. Your volume's a little low. Sorry, I was just distracted. I was looking at this one that I got off for Easter. What was the question?
Never mind. Thorum?
Thorum looks at you all and says, she can cast whatever she wants.
Great, then I guess she'll cast it. That being said, it doesn't solve my issue of being squishy when we get there.
Can we travel somewhere whereby, or it may be safer to rest? If you use this spell, we'll probably be ahead of time before the army arrives, yes?
Probably.
My comfort there, we may have time to rest and renew, prepare, and wait.
And hide. She looks around again and nods, and she takes one hand and places it onto the ground and closes her eyes. As she touches the ground, she lifts the hand, and you can feel or hear and see that familiar rumble in the dirt as, like liquid, the rocks move inward together. And as she raises her hand more and more, this being starts to rise up. Of rock and stone, it's binded together, and it raises higher and higher. Ahead, featureless and smooth, heavy laden shoulders, huge arms, this massive golem made of rock, stone and sapphire, these veins within its skin,
Hell yeah.
gets higher and higher, and it simply stands a full 10 feet in the air and more. It's slouching, these enormous cracking arms just testing itself for its strength and beating up against the sides of the wall. And you can see and feel the shake of the hallway as this huge being just lumbers forward as Melistra holds her hand out and just pushes on this thing, and this thing rumbles and walks.
Cool.
There is no gap that is left of its making. It is a smooth stone, as the rest of the rock around it seems to have compensated for that room. There's this large arch around the wall and ceiling now, but the floor is movable.
Well, who's going to follow the rock man?
I'll go up with it. I don't even really see anything as prepare my bow, arrow on the ready, start creeping forward.
What do you want to do, Gunnar?
I'm pretty sure I haven't like discovered the properties of this one yet. So I'm gonna just throw that away. And I'll just follow closely behind the drow. I want to keep, not like talking loudly, but I want to keep talking to him about his devotion to this queen or this mistress or whatever, whoever he's talking about, and get more information out of him.
Sure. Okay. So who's closest to the golem? In fact, Malestra is the closest, followed by Rook.
I wouldn't be too far. I'd be pretty close to Malestra.
Yep. Thorum then actually gets closer to you, Rook. Thorum goes third.
I'll be up the back.
So does, then Velsa, the drow, and Gunnar, you are sort of near the middle end as you both walk side by side. As you continue walking down this hall, it shifts to the right, and slowly you feel a slight incline downward as it slowly descends. For the next hour or 2 hours, the sconces where the flames lightly lick the side of the wall and light up this hall continue. The same couple of meters apart from each other. Conversation is kept at a minimum, and no other traps so far greet you. The golem is quite quiet, although that's probably the loudest noise you hear, closely followed by small conversation between Gunnar and Valsa. And as you both walk, Gunnar, he tells you, the Mother Matron is a god. She is to be loved. The drow live, and they grow with her blessing. They grow with the blessing of Loth. And they are tested. And the Mother Matron passes all. She does not turn into beasts, mindless as punishment, but she rises up, passing the tests, simply bear worship on their own. She is loved by all, the envy of all. She is not a god, but a living god. Tucked away safely. She is hardly ever seen but for the odd show. We love her dearly.
Why? What's so special about her?
The Drow worship power. The Drow worship beauty. They especially worship intuition and secrecy. And betrayal. Mother Matrons, they embody all of this. It is simple fact. We would be a fallen order without her. She binds us together with her simple beauty in her gaze.
Reading that book that I had about the Drow, did I learn anything about their history prior? Well, have they always lived the way they live? That kind of thing? Have they? Where did the Drow come from? Like, is that have they always lived underground, or?
Well, the history is there are many different versions of a similar story, whereby Drow, a bit like wood elves, lived apart from your high elves, but were allies. All lived together, all coming from their respective gods. Corellon. Living underground, however, and they always did live there, and they found peace among the dwarves as well and traded with them. But the god Lolth started to persuade them otherwise, persuade them that they themselves are superior, to wipe off centuries and centuries of what she would describe as servitude. She wanted them to become more. Over the course of that time, however, their vision did wane, and they are decidedly dark vision, so they just naturally over time develop that, and that sensitivity to sunlight that you are aware of. So, in short, no, they weren't always, I guess, looked upon as evil by other brethren. But since Lolth had infiltrated their ranks, the highest of the high, a slow journey into madness and evil overtook them.
And their society, have they been better for it? Have they reaped rewards for turning to Lolth, or?
They have grown power. Before, they simply lived like dwarves would live. But Lolth did grant them power to join her, to be under her. And that's where spell and transformation and superiority and wealth and this drive that no one really ever had before. None of the elves really had this pure force and purpose, and now they feel like they have it. And that's what you gain so far from the
Can I
few.
be a massive pain?
Please.
Really quickly? I just want to shout out someone who's in the chat. Their username is at F1Turf. This is my dad who lives over in Vietnam. So hi, Dad.
Hey.
And also, if Sophia and Dante and Melanie are all there, hello to my family who I have not seen in over a year now, thanks to COVID.
Yay, we love that. Thank you so
hello.
much for stopping by. Appreciate it.
If you want to speak some Italian, there you go. Now's your chance.
Oh, ok, va bene. Vediamo. No, see, I forget everything now. So I'm on the spot. So you come to a stop after those couple of hours all of a sudden, whereby it's the first piece of evidence of a sudden shift and a difference in the air. And you see immediately that there is just a shower of small darts that come out of the sides of the wall, and with a they hit this golem first and embed themselves in the rock, and you see the golem simply use a massive hand to shed these like you would with prickles from a plant. But you see even then the rock on its skin start to turn a little purple and blue, and Malestra holds her hand out for a moment, and you do all feel this magical energy emanate from her, and the golem continues forth. You see below, on the stone floor, towards the right-hand side of the hall, a small tile disguised as a rock had been pressed in, which seemed to have triggered such a trap. And on the floor you see hundreds of these poison darts.
Whoa.
Small needles, but each of them with some sort of liquid that's on them. And in the wall you see these very tiny holes.
Did any of them miss and end up like maybe on the ground?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
My rolls are so crap tonight. 4.
Wow.
Going to only commercial dice for now. That was not an Aeoncraft, that was a Mithril, so there you go.
There we go. You don't find any that haven't been broken in pieces by the solidness of this rock golem.
Can I find any just of the needle tips or the dart tips?
Yeah, you find plenty of those.
I'm gonna
about 16 of them.
Like 15? Yeah, cool. I'm gonna carefully place them in like my pouch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mara, what are you doing?
They're sharp. I might be able to use them. They're sharp. I might be able to use them.
Oh. Maybe I can help. Can I see?
I'll hand one to Gunnar.
Just hold it, and I'm going to cast mending on it. Will it mend them?
Okay, as you watch the broken needle, simply you see this slight light and glitter on the broken end, and it just forms more and more of this thin metal, and it continues until it's a full piece again.
Does it have poison in it?
Looking down at it, there does still seem to be a sheen of greenish blue liquid. So yes.
If it doesn't take too much energy, maybe when we get a chance to rest, you could do the rest of them for me.
I can do them as we walk.
Sure. I'll would you like me to give them to you, or?
Just hold them as I do it, and I'll continue to walk along and do that for each of them.
Because that's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And it's a one action? Yeah. Okay, well, in time, you can jot down 15 poison needles.
Yeah. Thank you.
Another couple of hours pass without incident. And then in succession, one after the other, within minutes of each other, as the path continues on, sometimes it becomes wider in the hall, sometimes thinner, where you have to almost go on your side to shimmy through. The ceiling gets taller and taller, however, as though it's almost ready to form an opening into a room of some kind, but then ducks down again. And there's no telltale signs as to why the dwarves might have formed this hall in this manner, but on the sides, on the left and the right, you notice these flecks of blue sapphire turn into gold. And you then notice beneath your feet tracks, these wooden slats and metal, making a railroad starting to happen, and these little carts that you walk past. It becomes wider as you walk past them. This seems to be the start of a road that was travelled with these carts through tunnels, a faster means of travel. And you notice now that there are some parts of this particular mine that actually have started to be mined. Huge gashes in the wall where there are only flecks of gold remaining. It seems the dwarves were a little bit more interested in the gold and not the jewels, and they seem to have taken out big chunks of these.
What type of jewels? What type of jewels?
The jewels that you just passed, that were embedded in the rock, and the veins were sapphire. Still sapphire. But it has turned now to gold, and there's not much gold left, but you do notice little flecks here and there of pieces that were remaining. And these dwarven carts that have four-wheeled and that are on these little railroads that would normally go back and forth with a lever that would push them through, now rusted and or broken in some places as well. So the path is now wide enough to actually walk past these. It's probably about 15 feet or 20 feet wide. And it's this cavern, or this large hall now, appears to be about 30 feet high. And as you continue to walk through, the golem in front that Malestra is concentrating on keeping in one path suddenly drops as another trapdoor, this time made of wood, just gives way, and the golem falls into this. And tall as it is, it continues to fall, but one hand grabs on to the surface, and with another hand, it slams its way onto this particular hole is about 20 by 20 feet, and with another hand, it gets higher and it's climbing out. I'm just going to roll a bit of a check for it, actually. Yeah, that'll do it fine. Natural 18 plus its strength, without a problem.
No need to brag.
Without a problem, it scrapes its way back onto the surface, and as you look down and see what's down there, there is no end. It continues on this particular hole into darkness. Malestra and Thorum and Valsa take a wide berth and walk around it. There is room on the outside to make your way around.
How long have we been walking at this point?
At this time, it's probably been about 5 hours in total.
So how long since we initially left where we rested?
Where did you rest? Oh, you mean in the plaza?
Yeah.
By now, it's probably going on to nearly 6 hours now. Or
Okay.
no, probably 7 hours.
Okay.
And you are starting to feel hungry, and you're starting to feel a little tired from a battle. Not a battle, sorry, a conversation, interrogation, and the traps. Rook, make a survival check for me.
La la la.
Yeah, do it off camera.
Got it. 22.
Only, okay. You feel it's late in the evening now, as it's probably going to be closer to 11:30 or midnight, as you continue your way forth, and all of a sudden, you feel a very slight breeze, Rook, coming from the way that you're traveling to. And Malestra turns to you all and she says, "A place of rest, finally." As she moves past the golem, who continues to lumber at his own pace, but she goes beyond him, and you will watch as she turns a corner into the left hand, and through there you hear this okay. And as you start to walk around that corner as well, behind the golem, you see this quite large space ahead of you. There are small webs, much smaller webs than you've seen in the previous room above, with these thick, silky, sticky pieces of fabric. And you see, however, these webs have ever tiny spiders in them, all around the outside of this one large room, which has one pathway into another tunnel and beyond. And then here there seems to be many more tools, and broken and not broken, and there seems to also be carts that are also broken. So it seems to be some sort of small hub of equipment that the dwarves might have sort of stocked in this particular room. You also see from above, you all look up, and probably about 15 feet above you, there hangs from a thick web on each more bodies wrapped up. Dwarves and drow seem to be hung from these silken cases with this large silk that's connecting them to the ceiling. And on the ceiling, which is about 20 feet high, 25 feet high, there's the web just sticks, keeping them suspended in midair. There's probably about 7 of them.
Yuck.
And they're just slowly shifting from side to side. You can see their partial faces, simply a dead look. The golem goes to the side of the room and simply stands, waiting for further instruction. And Malestra sort of sighs again, and she says, "I have paused the spell for now. We can rest, and he can keep watch and keep on guard.
Okay.
Although I have paused it. He is not a sentinel. We may still need a lookout.
I can go and watch again.
Very well. For the entirety again?
For the entirety.
If that is what you wish. Otherwise, I can. What was that, Amara?
I said, Rook, you should probably also rest.
Thank you, Amara, but I'll be fine. I think you need it more than I.
Well, I agree with that, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get some. Also, don't yell at me again. I don't like it.
I'll look at her and I do smile. Well, hopefully before this day is up, there'll be cheer when we get back home.
If we get back home.
And later rest and think of this. I can stand watch. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Gunnar?
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish to prepare?
I'm kind of hungry.
Yes, I too am feeling fatigued. Should we cook a meal?
I have some rations.
Yeah. I'm like looking up at these sacks. This is a little concerning though. You remember when we went to see the what was his name again? Round Tony?
Round Terry.
Round Terry.
Yeah.
You remember we had to go through that room?
Yes, I don't ever want to think about that room again. Please.
Well, I'm still looking at these people. I can't help but feel that we're in a similar room.
In a sense.
In fact, at that point, because you are kind of focusing on them, Gunnar, could you do me a favor and just make a perception check, if that's all right?
You die!
Perception save or die, sure.
14.
14, yeah, that's enough. These
You're alive!
well, you see one of these corpses sort of twist slightly, and you notice that these ones are a little bit different in how they're formed than the ones you saw back up top, going through that main entranceway where there were the same bodies on the ground and on the walls. These ones do seem to have quite large wounds in them, but no arrows are sticking out of them. So it's not doesn't seem to be something that has, and the wounds look like they are like large, almost like massive sword wounds, but several in each of them.
I want to get a closer look. Do their bodies look bloated or the opposite? Do they look like depleted?
Thinned. Make an investigation check at this point then, if you're trying to look closer at those details.
Forgot how good my investigation is. 21.
Okay.
Whoa.
Looking at them, they look like they are a little bit bloated. They look like they have been puffed out ever so slightly whether that be by death but in the wounds themselves, they have the odd fly that's feasting on whatever remains they are, but otherwise ever so slightly small spiders are sort of going around, making little webs around them, around these body parts, but there's no difference in colour, or they just look like they've been there a while.
Did you say one of them twitched though?
No, not twitched. The small, ever so slight wind that came around you as you went into this area sort of seemed to have caused just a little twist in this corpse.
Okay.
Do I see Gunnar investigating this?
Yeah.
Do you wish for me to drop one down?
No. No, definitely not. Mate, I feel like we should burn them. I'm concerned. Whatever has
no fire.
done this.
No fire. Not today.
Okay, but whatever has done this, and I'm kind of like, to the tip of my finger. Can I reach them?
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Just gonna like
The
lightly,
very top of their heads.
just like lightly tap, like poke it. Does it like stick? Does my finger stick?
It's a bit sticky. Matted blood.
Whatever has done this is potentially still nearby, but I'm concerned that maybe they've kept them here for a purpose. Potentially, I don't know. I've seen a lot of bugs in my time, and because Kits likes to eat them, and I've seen some really weird stuff that they do. Some of them lay eggs inside of other things. I'm a little concerned that that's what's happening here.
I'm a little concerned about everything that's going on in these caverns.
Well, yeah, but we're in front of this right now, and I'm trying to maybe... I don't know if resting here is a good idea.
I don't think there's anywhere else to rest.
Okay.
I'm gonna find
Can
a corner. Oh, sorry.
Here we go.
I'm gonna find a corner as far away from bodies as I can, but not too far from the group. And I'm just gonna sit myself down, eat some rations, and then go into like meditation mode.
Okay. Take a ration off each of your inventories if you also have one. Let me know if you don't have one though, because I'll need to know.
In my travels, would I understand that spiders or giant spiders would emaciate their victims until their husks?
Make me a nature check if that's okay.
Eat them bodies.
Nature?
15
and 4 is 19.
19.
Bloody
Looking at these particular bodies, you also notice that they were different from the ones up top, whereby the ones above, you did notice that they were sickly, as though they had been drained of their fluids. However, these ones are not. They don't seem to have been. These have been attacked. So your understanding is spiders generally speaking, don't cause this amount of damage. Of the wounds are not common with natural spiders, no.
Alright. Let us check this thing, Gunnar, and I cut one down.
Okay. Make me just not an attack roll, but just a damage roll with whatever weapon you were using. What are you using?
I'd probably be actually using like just to try and cut it with an arrowhead.
I thought you might. Yeah, just make me a damage with that.
So I think it's just Do you want me to drop the 7 because I feel like it's not flying. I'm just like I feel like it's cheating.
Yep.
That. 1d8. So that's a 5.
A 5. You strike an arrow into the silk, and a lot of it unbounds, but there's still actually a bit still holding it up, and you see the arrow just ricochet off the silk and hit the side of this room and just clatter to the ground onto the stone. It hasn't penetrated the silk yet entirely.
I'll just grab it and rip it off.
You're just going to
Yank it off.
use your weight. Okay, make me a strength check now.
16.
Yeah, that's enough. You use 2 hands and you bring down this body, and it basically just falls on top of you. And as it does, you feel this wetness around your legs and your arms and your stomach as you take it off of your body, and you see that some of its remnants are on you now. Whatever liquidy skin is rotting is a bit on you, and it smells. It's on the ground.
Get another arrowhead out and try and cut the cocoon open, I guess.
Yep. With some you pry it open, and you see in front of you a dwarf. Hard to tell what he looked like in life, but now he looks pale-skinned, almost very blue-skinned, and he looks also like his eyes are white orbs and have this very a dead stare about them. You see that there are 3 large sword-like wounds, and as you look at them, you notice that they're curved, like a curved, serrated sword almost, as it had cut a clean stab into his 2 parts of his chest and his gut. He has this black hair that's tied up in a bun, and like a raggedy short beard. He's still wearing his clothes as well.
Is there any weapons on him?
No, none.
Anything on him?
Scrounging around a little bit, you find that he has 3 gold pieces. These seem to have the markings of House Kandarak. So you notice he also has like his vest, like he's wearing a robe that's now stuck to all the other clothes that he's wearing. He has actually, as you do open up his robe, you do actually notice 3 daggers that are in his robe, though. Now that you've had a bit of a closer look, these 3 daggers are copper daggers.
Copper daggers. I'll take those.
Okay. They're short. The blade themselves are rounded like a teardrop from the base to the point, and they have these markings on them that you can't recognize.
Jester to Malestra, what would you make of this?
These, and she you want to give her one, or just show them?
I'm actually more not the daggers themselves. I just kind of like hold them in one side and help pry the cocoon open. Make it. What do you make of this? As in the dwarf being killed by what looks like weapons, but now is being strung up by something else.
That is exactly what I think. That he had been killed by something and then was a feast for someone else, I guess. like a lot of other dwarves here.
You think this dwarf has been drained of all of its sustenance?
No. No, perhaps being kept for a different meal.
I look to Gunnar. And these. And I then hold out the knives. I hand them to her.
She takes them, she gives them a bit of a look. She shakes her hand over them, and whatever dirt and liquids were on the daggers have now been cleaned, and they stick out now as shining copper daggers with this beautiful, although slightly chipped blade, and this hilt that is almost as long as the dagger itself. That's wrapped up in what looks to be a similar, it's a light silver metal. You feel like it might be mithril. I think that they are ceremonial. If you wish me to identify them, I can see if they are of magic as well.
Do you still, now that we've seen this dwarf here, think this is a good place to rest for the night?
I don't know, but I think we may have no choice. And she looks at you, Amara. We must rest.
I'm like full meditation mode. I'm
Yeah.
not even listening to this happening.
I turn back to Gunnar and say, looks like your worries may be confirmed, but I don't know where else we can go.
It's okay. As long as one of us is keeping watch, it'll be fine, I guess.
Myself and our friend, and I gesture to the golem. Malestra, if you can identify these by the morning, so I may be able to use them.
I can, but I need to rest as well. And she goes and starts to make some sort of comfortable spot on solid ground.
A nest, and I don't know why.
It's like a bird. She starts.
And she starts to snore loudly. Are you, Rook and Gunnar, doing anything at this point?
I pull out another potion of watchful rest
Mm-hmm.
and take that.
Okay.
And
go and watch.
yeah, I might have a DM question for you before we go on break.
That's okay.
Who says we're going on break?
All right.
What do you have for me?
For what? Okay, so because I'm using the potion to get my full rest,
Mm-hmm.
do you want me to change my spells now or after the rest?
No, it's fine. Either way, it won't make a difference.
Okay.
You'll have them as you finish.
Okay. In which case, before the end of the rest, I'm also going to cast Primal Awareness, and within a 6-mile radius. I'm only doing it within a close vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Try to understand if there's any Fae that may be close by.
Fae? Okay. Good to know. And how? So it's within a 6-mile radius, yeah?
It's up to a 6-mile radius, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Gunnar, what are you doing as Rook finishes his rations and starts to patrol?
So I know that I can use identify to identify an item.
Mm-hmm.
but is there a way that I could identify it taking like a longer period of time, or
Do you have the ritual spell feat?
oh, I mean like without using a spell at all?
The ritual casting ability allows you to do it, but you may need the feat to do so, unless you have it as your as a particular wizard ability. Because ritual casting, I believe, does not take up a spell slot. Is that what you were intending to do?
No, I mean like, without using the identify spell at all.
Oh, so understand if it's magical without using that spell.
Yeah, it's properties essentially.
Got it. Okay. And so it just takes longer, I'm assuming. Like you're wanting it to take longer to do. Like as a
I think. Sorry, you go.
as a compromise, I guess you were asking.
I think I remember reading once that there was another way of identifying. I just can't remember the details. Like I think it either required a short or a long rest or something, but you could spend that time, essentially identifying the item.
Okay. For the purposes of just, I guess, continuation, I'll definitely let you use a short rest equivalent to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're taking a long rest now, right?
Correct. Yep.
So a long rest is a minimum of 6 hours of sleep and then 2 hours of light activity, correct?
Yep.
So can I use that light activity in the long rest?
Yes, you can. Yep, you can do that.
How long is the short rest again? Is it an hour?
An hour, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back on the original thing. So I just realized that potentially that item that I want to identify needs attunement, and I have to spend a short rest to unattune as well as attune.
Yeah, sure.
So I will spend those 2 hours, one to unattune to my boots of immobility. And I will. I think if I've got the spell prepared. I do. I have. Maybe I've done this wrong. Does the mark of making allow me to cast identify at will? Without,
yes.
So I don't have to use a spell slot.
That's correct. Look at your
Oh, well,
spells.
Sorry,
Good.
I
You're
thought
fine.
that was,
Good.
So I could only do one spell on. Anyway,
No
I'll use
problem at all.
that to identify, and I will attune to the wand that I took off for Izo.
No problem at all. Okay. So as Rook starts to do you're watching, and Malestra sleeps, and Amara meditates, Thorum sleeps, and then Gunnar, you sleep as well for that 6 hours. We are going to take a short break and come back.
A short rest?
Yeah. Lol. I'm going to find my D6, which I've lost. But before we go, congratulations once again to our winner of our giveaway.
D&D Inside.
D&D Inside, thank you so much for entering, and everybody else for doing so.
Who, by the way, is still in the chat.
Hey, thanks so much for holding out and listening to us. That's really appreciative. Thank you. Well, we'll be taking 10 minutes, and we'll be coming back here at 8:57. So we'll see everybody in a little while.
Ben saying that was his compliment to give you, but I'm taking
Welcome back, everybody. I get compliments, as you heard.
it. Exposed.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and seeing what this band, well, this trio, is going to get themselves into now.
Give me a trio.
A band is a trio, absolutely. I'm actually trying to. I was really quickly trying to go through all of the comments because I do miss them every time. And thank you, Saz. Hello. Thank you, Dungeon Mastery. Hi, John. Hi, Vocuman. Hello, Vocuman. Hey, Sambo. Hey, Sambo. D&D Inside, obviously. Claxon Nile, hello. Aeoncraft, obviously, hello. Thank you.
Classic Nile actually also came from the raid last week.
Wow. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
Checking back in, yeah.
MVCDM, PW 2011, hi. Jimmy Miller, hi. Thank you very, very much.
Bowl of cereal, hello.
Welcome back, Preston. We're live.
Hello. Oh no, we've got a focus issue, and there we go. He's beautiful and focused and muted as well. It's great. We love that.
Did you say PW2011?
Oh, that's you. Yeah, I know, but still,
That's me.
I know. But welcome
You
anyway.
You don't get to be shouted out. Yeah, where's my shout out? I'm in the chat.
Sorry, I've got Emily X Grace. Hi, Blast Powder. Hello. Welcome, guys.
Who's Blast Powder?
No idea.
Some loser.
No one important.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
some guy.
Some old dude.
Oh, okay. Settle. Settle down.
Are you my age?
No.
Hands up if you're the youngest here.
Oh.
Hands down. All
Put
of
your
you.
hand. Tell us how old you are.
Well, what about chat? Who's young in the chat? I'm assuming not my dad, who stopped by to say hi as well, but only
Who's your dad?
Sambo.
Oh my god, our dads were both here.
I know, isn't that awesome? Oh, John the Dragon is 12 years old, so
How did you log on to Twitch, John, at 12 years old?
Yeah, you need to be 13.
I'm watching with him.
yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely not me. It's my Sticks and Stones. Hi.
Stones, happy birthday.
Oh, jeez.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, is that Michele or Ben?
No, Ben is doing very
Oh,
well.
sorry.
Oh,
Very
beautiful.
beautiful.
Hey, I'm gonna change the color of our light. What color would you like?
Me?
It's not
Yeah.
a combat color, is it?
Yeah, go like extra red for blood. Oh my gosh, wow, no. Please don't. It's like you're in the 70s now.
Sepia.
alone in the 70s.
That's good. The blue? Wow.
Lights red.
No, we'll go back to where we were.
That's a bit dark.
I'll get there. It'll be fine.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Sticks and Stones. Welcome. Thank you. Really appreciate you joining us on your birthday. And welcome to the second half of this episode. So, bring it back in, as Gunnar also has his cool little lights to show off. I love that. For the first 4 hours of this long rest, I need you, Rook, to roll me a perception check, please.
90. Oh, no, 18.
18?
18.
Okay.
So I get advantage from the golem.
The column.
The golem, not at all.
He tried, and that's.
As you slowly make your way around the room, keeping a very clear eye out for the only 2 pathways within this room, the way you came and the way going forward, which in fact is another hall or another tunnel as you entered into this room, it was on the left-hand side, a little ways off, and it leads out and then to the left again. And you haven't yet, unless you want to specifically, you haven't gone into that tunnel to look beyond that, to see what's ahead. You, in the second hour, close your eyes for a moment and listen. And you hear this echoing all around you, in fact, like an echo. And another.
Do they trigger my primal awareness?
They do not. But this is sound. It could be coming from right next to you, or it could be coming from a while away. It's hard to tell. And then nothing. Another couple of hours pass. Roll it again in the second half.
16.
16? Okay. This time, nothing. A dead silence. Every now and again, a very small scrape of stone on stone from the golem. Very slow movement, but otherwise restful, peaceful. Are you doing anything else while you have that rest, Rook?
No. I'm rearranging my spells. I'll do that.
Okay.
But in regards to any activities or anything like that, other than eating, just be concentrating on a watchful patrol, knowing there was stuff close by coming back for food.
Okay. Well, everyone wakes up and finishes their long rest.
Thank God for that.
And is spells and hit points full.
If it's okay, as I wake up, just before I do my morning meditation, I would like to take out Osei's amulet. I didn't really look at it when I was given it, so I'd like to inspect it if I can. And just see if I can make anything of it.
Okay. The familiar the familiar ruby, perfectly circular on top of this gold rod underneath it, making up the rest of the chain of gold chain around the neck as well, made to be a fairly long neckline. And looking at it closely, there are very small etchings on there which don't seem to have any sort of consistency to them. Gem, looking down at it really closely, does have a very slight glow to it that you hadn't noticed before.
The etchings, are they words or symbols or?
They seem to be more symbols than words, but even then, it's a tough call to really put them together to see what they form.
Okay.
And what languages again do you know, Mara?
Celestial, Common, and Corey.
And that you can't make out anything about them that's familiar.
But it definitely wasn't glowing before.
No.
I'm gonna wear it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tuck it under my under my cloak so that no one can see.
Okay, good to know. Gunnar, you wake up and you finish your long and short rests for the purposes of what you were wanting to do. And you suddenly feel power in your hands as you have researched and have meditated on the new device in your grasp and which is now yours, which was once of an archmage. Doing anything in particular, Gunnar?
No, I'll stay. I'll stay seated. Just observing, like the surrounds, and I'll have my diary out. Just going through that, writing a couple of entries from what we experienced the day before. And preparing my abilities, reciting things to myself.
As you do, Kips, your companion looks over silently as he looks into the notebook and snorts ever so slightly and scrounges for little spiders as well, which he devours and he finds. He actually hunts and grabs these quite easily. Seems to pick and choose what he gets, but he gets a good morsel. Rook, are you doing anything in particular as everyone wakes? By the way, you're all still quite hungry from that long rest too.
Even if we ate?
You ate prior to the 8 hours.
Ah.
Or the 6.5 hours, actually.
How about if I'm fasting? I've got a bit of weight.
You feel hungry, but you feel also invigorated by that dietary goal.
As I see the others come to, I'm just snacking on whatever rations are available in my ration sack, so I'll get one of that off.
Okay.
I'm going to take one off too.
Yeah, cool. Melistra wakes up and she sort of gives you a bit of a tired stare. Yes, it is good to eat. And she gets a bit of her rations, these dried salted meats and these dried fruits, and devours them.
I say to Melistra, isn't it good? No matter where you are, food always lifts the spirits.
It is hope, yes.
I turn to Amara and Gunnar. How are you both feeling?
I would probably still be meditating at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If that's okay.
Then I turn to Gunnar.
Oh, at this point, but you had already put a Say's necklace, or was that after?
Before.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Did you see anything while we were sleeping?
Nothing of consequence.
Okay.
Shall we go? Melistra asks, as the golem starts to rise and starts to move slowly with a doof, doof, doof on the ground underneath it as it starts to make its way into that other tunnel that it can easily fit through.
Before we venture forth, how much further is this point where we would meet the army?
Valsa speaks up. He sort of wakes up, and as well as that, just turns to you all. From here, it is about 1.5 days travel to tell Narkel, from what you have been saying, the army will probably... They'll probably cross paths there.
We may have some time. If there's anything that anyone needs to prepare, there is still a long journey ahead. Maybe another rest may be needed, but at this point we need to be ready.
Gunnar, tell me a bit about suggestion, please. You've had a long rest. How does that work?
Was he sleeping?
Yep.
Okay. Has he woken up yet?
Yeah, he was just speaking to us.
He was just speaking to you, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, actually, you might need to retcon something. It only lasts for 8 hours.
You do know for a fact that the spell has passed. Although he does, as he spoke, he seems to have given you that instruction that it's 1.5 days away. But you know the magic is dissipated. He hasn't seemed to run. However, he doesn't seem to have any threatening pose. He's simply standing. And he then asks, does anyone have a ration? Something substantial I could eat, please.
Not knowing anything about the spell, I would just assume it's still on and provide him with some food.
Okay.
And I'll take another hit to my rations.
Okay. He takes the rations and slowly takes a bite, and you can see that his teeth are serrated white. And he just sort of... it's not flesh, but it will do. He looks at you, Gunnar. So, shall we draw swords again, or will you desist this time?
Oh, you want to fight? Is that what you're saying?
Must we?
Well, no.
Where
You were
to
the one
now,
who-
then?
Where we were going before.
Is that what you intend to do to me? Have me under your spell? Have me guide you once more?
No. If you don't want to be forth, you can do it willingly.
And what makes you think I will do this willingly? Guide you to the Mother Matron and have her in
Well,
danger.
You said yourself that you would get maybe rewarded for bringing us to her. So maybe that's why you should do it.
Make a persuasion check, Gunnar.
Would I hear this through my
Yeah,
meditation?
This conversation, I perceive that the magic isn't working anymore.
Yep. And yes.
I am up and just watching this happen suspiciously.
I turn to Molestra and casually say, have you got one of those blades ready for me yet?
I could not identify it, if that's what you're asking, but you may have them. They are magical.
I walk over to her.
She hands them back to you.
No, I'm going to get her to identify him.
Okay.
I'm just standing closer to her now.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. This drow looks towards you and says, upon traveling with you, it seems it will be more of a hindrance than a reward if I were to get you to that location. especially with this one. And his eyes gaze over to Malestra. She is going to pose a danger which I feel may not be risky enough for this task. So
I guess it's against your will then.
if you must, but you have one chance. And he then just uses momentum to then start to run as he starts to sprint towards the location in which you are about to head. Are you doing anything?
I pull out my
Can I
bow.
shadow jump?
So, first of all, Gunnar, what are you doing?
Come back to me.
Okay, Amara, you're shadow jumping. Where are you shadow jumping to?
I want to shadow jump in front of him and just clothesline the motherfucker.
Okay, Rook, what are you doing at the same time?
I'm gonna use.
I'm going to draw my bow
Mhm.
and just train on him,
Okay.
and wait to see what happens with
Okay.
the shadow jump.
Alrighty. So, the shadow jump occurs, vroom, vroom, and Amara, you appear immediately, instantaneously, on just inside, where there's just a little bit of shadow on the very corner. As you go into this tunnel that leads towards the left to continue the journey, you get there and you see a couple of things at once. You see this drow coming towards you fast, and then you glance over to the left and you see that the path in front of you is completely blocked by thick web. Gunnar, what are you doing?
Pulse wave.
Pulse wave?
So, yeah. Before he can get far enough away, well, it's 30 feet, so long as he's within 30 feet, he has to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Against 17?
Is that what he rolled?
No, is against your 17?
Yeah.
That was a 15 in total. Oh, hold on. However, is it a spell effect? Yep, hold on. That was an 18.
Okay. So he takes half.
Okay.
I didn't say what level I was going to cast it at, but I'm only casting it at level 3.
Okay, cool.
It's not. So he takes half of 17.
17, okay, good to know. I'll jot that in.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Is anyone else within 30 feet?
Hmm?
It's a 30-foot cone in front of me.
No, just you.
Okay.
The drow then make... Ooh, how we do this? Okay, I'm going to just use your dexterity against his, Amara, just to see whether he comes into contact or if he can actually dodge and go underneath.
Blow on it.
No.
Oh no. 16.
Yeah, that's a 19 for him. He ducks underneath the clothesline and he runs around the corner before you can fire your arrow, Rook. And as he does, he goes straight into this web and sticks to it. And you can see him explored like this into this thick web.
I'm gonna
Okay.
smack.
Okay.
Break it.
Alrighty. As you go ahead and smack, Gunner and Rook, you watch as from the way that you came in, you see this. Initially, it simply looks like a drow female. But then behind this drow female is this large thorax that seems to be attached to her, and these large legs that come crawling in, these large pincers that look serrated and curved. And as she strides in, she makes a quick dart and stands over the sleeping body of Thorum and is over him. As Amara, you watch from this vantage point that this has occurred. Thorum seems to be asleep still, as this second drow female with this spider for a body comes crawling in as well, and just stands at the entrance of this place where you came in.
There's two of them?
Yes. The first one, who's standing over Thorum, she has this large black spider body. Her legs long and thick embed themselves into the ground. You can see that webbing is coming out of the back of her thorax and is lining the wall. Malestra just stops and is very ready, very focused on what's happening. And you can see the other drow walks along, almost passing you very closely, Gunnar, as she sort of starts to silently move away outside of your reach. And the first one looks around, and with this beautiful but fearful looking large frontal portion of her body, and this drow pink skinned head with this white hair and this thin pearlescent crown. Well, it seems, sister, that we might have company this evening. Yes, it does. It does look like this. How dare they enter our home? Luckily, they cannot escape now. Isn't that just delicious? As the drow male who made his escape is stuck and his face is embedded in this thick silk, he's sort of making muffle noises like... One of the drow lifts what looks to be a spear of some kind, and then her whole body rises. And as she prepares for some sort of attack, I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Do I get my smack off or no?
Do you get your what?
Do I get my smack off or no?
Yeah, you'll get your smack off, yeah, and that'll be in the turn before. Yeah, you do roll.
Weird.
Oh, what the fuck is with my rolls tonight?
Check that shot.
Well,
Every dice is going in the jail. All of them.
now I need to change this map. I will be just a moment. That will go here, and that will go there. And this I need to move around.
I'm bringing all my d20s out.
Have you ever another D8?
Another d10. Do I have another d10?
D8.
Oh,
D8.
D8.
For the purposes of this, Rook is probably going to be here.
A million.
Master's probably going to be there. Gunner's probably going to be up here.
Yeah, have some d8s.
Actually,
there a
you're going to
link,
be
Michele?
there. The D&D Beyond?
No, for the map.
Roll 20.
Oh, sorry, Roll20. Apologies. It is just that not usual Roll20 website.
Oh, we're talking in Roll20.
I can jump in.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're already in it, aren't we?
Can you give me permission to move myself? Because
I-
I think I lost that.
I have.
last
I
time.
have.
Oh, good.
Yep, I have. Yep.
One.
Oh, and she is going to be...
We just opened a can.
Actually, that's fine. Okay. Excellent. So, when everybody's ready, let me know when you see the map as well, so we can start by rolling initiatives. I'm going to roll initiative for me in the meantime.
I've got my initiative. It's not great.
It's going to be... Oh, wow. Hers is not great either, apparently.
That's good.
That one is a little bit better. Okay. Rightio, so... Let me know when everybody has rolled initiative, if that's okay.
I've rolled.
I rolled.
Awesome. Can I get 25 to 20, please?
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
You said 25?
Yeah.
If I roll over 25, do I get an extra turn?
Good question. I'm going to say no to that. And no.
I'm just so quick. Go to
That's-
27.
It's pretty damn good. Jeez. Okay, now, whoops, daisy. So, 2 seconds. 20 to 15.
I'll just wait until the end if that's okay.
What did you get, Gunnar?
Ben.
What did you get, Amara?
Half of that.
Oh, wow, okay. 10 for Gunnar, and then 5 for Amara.
Yeah. I've just lined up every d20 I own in order of how I'm going to roll them. Because one of them has to be successful.
Where's Thorum?
Thorum is underneath the Drider, one of the Driders, so she's underneath the purple Drider at the moment,
Okay.
next to Malestra.
Okay. And where's the drow? Garamara.
Near Amara, yep. Now, I was going to say something here. Oh, that's right here. There, yep. And then... Alrighty. So, let me know when you all see the map and we can get this started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Rook, I'm pretty sure you knew it, but you're up first.
But wait, my hit! My smack!
Oh, you smack, yes. What'd you roll for to hit?
Okay, let me roll it. Actually, I'm going to use the big metal dice to
Go for
do this. Because maybe that will smash the table or do good.
Can I ask, is
Oh
she
my
rolling?
god. Oh,
That one.
12 to hit.
Go on, Gunnar.
Michele. Sorry. Is he incapacitated?
Thorum.
No, the drow that she's hitting.
Oh, yes. It's advantage.
Oh, let's try the metal dice again. It might redeem itself. Hey, it did! 28 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. I'm gonna use one of its charges that I haven't used yet, and make it take, on top of the damage I'm about to roll, an extra d6 of radiant damage.
Nice.
So it will be 10 bludgeoning,
Mm-hmm.
magical,
Mm-hmm.
and 3. Oh, sorry, an extra d6 of radiant damage. Okay. and a 3 radiant damage.
Crack! The staff goes straight down the curved weapon onto the head of this drow who you hear this muffled as you see this dark blood start to seep out from a head wound. He gets a bit more limp, but then he sort of rights himself and tries to get out as best he can. But the more that he's being trying to escape, the more he's entangled. And Rook, now you're up.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I wouldn't mind moving on. I'm just going to look over here. Just want to move on top of that gangway that is on top of here. That would be 30 feet. Can I on top? So, yeah. Would you agree with that?
All of the wood that's around here is actually just broken on the ground. Just be aware, there's no sort of raised area.
So that's not any cover or anything like that?
Not really, no. No. You won't get half or 3/4 with this.
And I'm going to then... Yeah, go for it. Golly. That's my movement.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you guys. Mara, you're up there. Strong. Okay. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the Drider that is closest to me, which is next to Malestra.
Yep, that's the one, on top of Thulrum.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. Is it the one that's on? Oh, okay, yep. And then as a bonus action, I draw my bow and say a prayer to Onatar, and my hand starts glowing changes from its silver to this kind of electrifying and alive blue, and that's all I'm doing.
Alrighty, that's your turn.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Drider at the top, this black one, and it is going to... That was the one who had the spear up and ready to strike. She is going to move directly down 5, 10, 15, straight over to Gunnar.
Gunner's already freaking out.
And let's have a look here. Essentially, she is going to look down at you, Gunnar, and say, "Be still, be still." And with one hand out, with another sort of leg out, this leg glows slightly. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please, Gunnar, as you feel your whole body start to tighten and not be able to move.
GPK.
Sorry, I just realized I was on mute. Is this a spell?
It is.
Campaign 2.
To wisdom? 22.
22, okay. You feel your body start to become immovable, but then you sort of have a think for a moment and you notice spell. Oh, and then you just twist your body away from the magic and you feel the hold person spell dissipate from you and you are not affected.
That would have been some karma.
She screeches though in frustration, and she gets one attack against you after that, and that will be an attack with her spear. So she's going to make one attack against you. That's going to be a 14 to hit.
Shield.
The spear clangs up against a bright light and no damage happens. The spear shatters on it as well. She moved it with such force towards you and the spear didn't look too well made. It looked like maybe remnants of the war, and she crashes it against the shield and it splinters. And no damage is caused. That's her turn. The other Drider looks over towards Malestra. And she is going to take out what looks to be a... Ooh, unless... She's going to instead look at Malestra and simply mouth something that has no sound. But as she does, her mouth, which has these beautiful silvery teeth, her entire mouth glows in this Drider, and she emanates this beam towards Malestra. And she's going to try and cast...
Sounds bad.
that. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, a nimbus of a not a cone, sorry, a sphere or semisphere appears in a 20-foot radius around Malestra. And that's all you see. But Malestra, it's her turn, and she tries to speak, and you don't hear anything coming from her. And then she looks at this Drider and she tries to move her hands in a particular method, as though, Gunnar, you recognize this, casting a spell, and nothing appears from it. Malestra then realizes what's going on, and she will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And she moves outside of this semicircle, and as she does, and as she's running, she shouts, "Don't go in there! It's silence!" And she moves around and makes her way towards the Drider and stops right next to her, ready for a second attack. But that's her turn. Gunnar, what are you doing?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. Is there a way for you to show us the area of effect of that silence?
Of the silence?
Yeah, is there like a shape or something you can put on there?
Let me see if I can put a shape on. Shape. I can absolutely put a shape on there for you. Let me just be a second. That would actually work, wouldn't it? That's okay. Let's put this in instead. That's a very good idea.
How good is it when the DM thinks out loud?
Great.
We love that.
That was a really good Emily impression. I liked it.
It was.
Oh, really? We love that.
Love that for you.
Oh my god. No, that was terrible. Okay.
That was more Valley Girl, but that's fine.
I know. I hate myself.
So do I.
I've got literally no picture at the moment. Hold on. Let's just do this instead.
Apparently John does that as well.
What's that?
Sarah just commented in the chat saying that John, when he's DMing, he speaks out loud to himself as well.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly right.
Prerequisite.
I do that by playing WoW.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. All right, I got it here. I'm going to bring it in, and I'll let you know. Whoops, go away that, go away this, and there. Okay, 2 seconds, just loading it up. So, as that happens, Gunnar, what do you want to do?
Okay. So, is it in front of the Drider, is it?
It's about there.
Okay. I'm going to use my bonus action to transform into my thought form.
Okay.
So I will illuminate.
Mm-hmm.
Does that affect the Drider at all?
Doesn't seem to, no.
Okay. And I'm going to cast a spell at her.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cast Pulse Wave at 5th level.
Pulse Wave, okay. Go for it. A Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
That is a Kraken. Well, that is a natural 20.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. So she takes 14 damage.
14
force
damage.
Actually, hang on. 19.
19?
Force damage. Yeah,
I do.
because I added the 5.
I know.
Okay, good to know. You watch as you hear actually cracking in her legs as this buffet of force again smashes up against her, and one of her legs just goes in a particularly unnatural direction and slams into the ground, and she screeches, "Never mind," and readies herself again. Anything else you're doing? Okay. It is Malestra's turn. All right. Well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this. All right. She is going to...
DM impressed by his own decision.
It was gonna be. It was gonna be.
Gonna.
Ooh,
Actually, isn't Preston gonna?
lol. Amazing.
No one picked up on it. You said lol, I said the.
Ah, I got that. That nice.
Lol.
She's just gonna go and, with two hands, just look at this Drider in front of her and just screech as this flame appears beneath her fingers, and this fireball becomes larger and larger, and she's just gonna slam it up against this Drider, and it explodes around her. That's going to do a dex saving throw on the Drow's part, which will be that. No, that's not going to save. So 8d6 fire damage.
Far out.
That's a fireball for you.
That's a pizza bowl.
I roll, so for the first two dice, double ones. Excellent.
Sounds like an Emily roll.
Oh, that's better. Wow. 22 points of
Nice.
fire damage as it explodes, and you can see bits of the carapace that make up her body, and her thorax are burnt to a crisp, all blackened, whereby they're usually this deep purple and red. And you can smell this off insect like burning smell, and that's Melissa's turn. Next up, we've got Amara.
Love that for me. Hey, so this drow, he's like face down in this web, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, can I grab him without touching the web? Like, if I was to, like, grab him by the back of the head like I'm doing a Ben now.
Are you trying to pull him out?
I'm just trying to raise his head so I can talk to him.
Oh, okay. Just make a strength check then.
I don't care if there's web there.
Sure. Make a strength check.
Does it take an action to do this?
No, it'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
If you just don't talk to him, that's why I wanted to specify.
17.
Yep, that'll do it. You lift his head and it squelches up against this really sticky web.
I'm going to say, who's the snack now? And then I'm going to drop him. And then, is it dim enough in this room that I can shadow jump?
Yeah, you can shadow jump in most of this. Yeah, most of the areas here, definitely.
I would love to run if I can first. So, oh, what the heck just happened? One moment, please. I'm gonna run like 15 feet here, and then I'm going to try and figure out how to use Roll20.
I can move for you if you need.
No, it's fine. It's just the app that I'm using to access Chrome has just had a bit of a heart attack. And then I'm going to... 10, 15, right, sorry. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm going to...
Do you take the opportunity?
No. Shadow jump to here.
Jeez, okay. Awesome.
Because that's 60 feet. And that's my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to staff attack Dryder friend there.
Okay, the one that was just burned by the searing heat, and that gives you some sort of trepidation, Amara, initially with that heat. Just you saw it happen, and then you come running over bravely. Make your attack roll.
Okay, I'm gonna get advantage on the first one because I shadow jumped. And it is a 27 to hit.
That'll hit. Oh god, that'll hit.
Yeah. So that's gonna take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
8 points.
Second attack is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage to that one.
Okay. So you watch this as this drow seems to be concentrating on this spell that has this nimbus around her. With the sudden strikes and the fire that was burning her, Amara, you slam the staff into and crack another leg joint, and then with the next hit, slam into the chest of the upper torso. And you can hear the cracking of ribs and her screeching. She'll need to make a concentration check to maintain the spell. That's not enough. The spell dissipates. Alright, so the spell is gone from her concentration immediately after casting it. Are you doing anything else?
No.
Okay. Thorum is going to...
Wake me up. Wake me up inside.
Oh my god. Well, he's prone, so he's going to use half his movement to get up. What's he going to do? Let's have a look.
Probably nothing. Like, isn't that what Thorum does usually? No, I'm joking.
Wow.
Battle has been done. Throw him like.
Hopefully you're not watching.
Oh, hi guys.
Oh, I was chloroformed again.
He's just gonna. Yeah. That's what he's gonna do. Hell yes. At 4th level, he's going to lift his hand up and just simply touch the Dryder directly above him. He's going to look at you and Amara and say, "Hey." And he's going to inflict wounds at 4th level on this Dryder.
Concentrates on space and whether or not it's real.
He needs to make an attack roll against the creature's armor class, though. And that is a natural 1, everybody. Excellent. It does not affect the Dryder at all.
Typical Thorum.
And that's his turn. Yeah, that's his
Where
turn.
is he? Is he underneath it?
Underneath her, yeah. The red one. Back to the top. Rook, you're up. This actually, I will roll a strength check for the drow to try and get out of that web. And that's a natural 2. All right, Rook, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to move. God, how big is that? Three across. I don't want to get trapped in there. I'm going to move 2 spaces down, if you can.
I can do that for you.
Oh, I can do it. It's fine. I've already got it.
And I'm going to shoot Blue Boy or
Mm-hmm.
girl.
You're on your own, Gunner.
Twice. And the first attack. So that's a 30.
Just hits. Just makes it.
Let me see. Uh, 11. That's 18 damage.
18 points of damage. Okay.
Following that shot through, I recklessly pull back as hard as I can, fire again.
Mm-hmm.
Deducting 5 off of my hit, and that's going to be a 13.
A 13 misses. With your Slayer's... What was that? Slayer's Prey? No.
No, I used my sharpshooter ability.
Sharpshooter, that's right,
And I
yes.
rolled a 4, so I got a -1 on my 14.
Bagger.
Just, yeah.
Okay, second shot misses, but the first one slams straight into the back of this creature's thorax at the back, and as you see that happening, you watch as she turns around and shrieks in pain, looking down. You then see tiny little spiders, hundreds of them, start to emanate out of the back of that body and scatter towards you, Rook.
I haven't finished my turn.
No, go for it.
I'm going to move. So I moved 10 feet.
Which way?
So I'm going to come in kind of into this trench or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And bonus action Zephyr Strike.
Okay, same one.
And I'm going to move back 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
This way?
Directly 60 feet that way. I think it's roughly around here. And just diagonally down one. 60. I'll try and get you guys opportunity if I can.
Whew.
Right, that's my turn.
Okay. So with that, the Dryder next to Gunner goes next. And she is going to look down once again at this little creature and hiss. But as she hisses, this green acidic spray comes just drooling out of her face. This purple and green just bubbling spittle, and she hacks it towards Gunner. That is going to be... you simply are engulfed in green and purple gas as this creature hisses on you. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Just while he does that, I move my character back a couple of spaces.
I saw that, yeah, that's fine.
He fucked
I
up.
miscounted that, yeah.
13.
13? Oh gosh, I'm losing my dice. I've got it. Okay.
Anybody who's watching, that's a hint that Michele needs more dice.
Yeah, 20 points of poison damage you get, Gunnar, as this gas just almost suffocates you with its, and you feel your skin start to burn. As well as that, while you're distracted, she's going to take another strike at you. This time, she takes out what looks to be a longsword from within her person, from out of nowhere, and that's going to go ahead and attempt to strike you. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
18. Shield again.
Shield. It comes up again, and this time this sword looks a bit more well made. It doesn't shatter against the magical effect. It simply ricochets off, and she sort of lifts up the spidery hind legs and threatens you with them as her turn ends. The spider at the bottom is looking half decently hurt. It's going to look at both Amara and Malestra in, it looks to be a bit of fear and a bit of desperation here. And she is going to... She's simply going to attempt to bite you, Amara, once, and Malestra twice. Just simply bite. So, Amara, this will be an attack roll against you as her entire head flexibly, weirdly enough, just slams down towards you, her mouth open wide, and it elongates even more unnaturally as it gets wider and wider like a snake. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Oof.
Yes, that hits.
Alright, that's going to be...
Hey, don't you dare grab more than one dice, sir.
That one, and then this one. Okay, so the first physical is going to be 4 points of piercing damage, and then 15 poison damage as you feel the poison start to enter into you.
However, as I feel it start to enter into me, I push it straight back out because this bitch is immune to poison.
And as you feel that poison start to enter, you just shrug it off. Yep, you just don't affect you at all.
I'm just gonna for flavor, just crack my neck.
Cool. Because Malestra did the fireball, she's going to take the next 2 bite attacks towards her. Only one of them does hit, and that will be... Okay, so 9 points in total. Alright, you see Malestra get bitten just the once. The second one, she's able to step aside, and as this mouth comes screaming towards her, and she dodges it just in time. That's her turn. Gunnar.
My turn. Okay. Do I see all of that stuff that's around me? Is that there, or is that just
It's a once-off thing. It dissipates now.
No, I mean all of the on the map, all of the items.
Oh yeah. There's rocks around. There's those carts. There's a couple of crates in the area. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What to do? Okay, I will cast catapult.
Okay.
No. Yeah, catapult. So I will lift up a reasonable sized boulder, and I'm going to held it straight at her head.
The one next to you?
Sure.
Yep,
Dex
go for it.
save.
Dex save, sure. Okay, Dex saving throw is going to be a 21. Rolling high.
That misses.
All right, misses completely. She almost guides that boulder away as she looks at you with this long sword and brandishes it against her face. Just puts it against her face like this and readies another strike. Do anything else, Gunnar?
Yeah, I will actually start to move away from her.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I'm going to move to there.
Sure. One attack of opportunity from her.
Sure.
That is going to be wow. Okay, that's another 20. So it'll be from her longsword. That's a 4 plus 3, so 7 points with the double damage. So that's all included. It was a pretty low damage roll. So 7.
She rolled a natural 20.
She rolled a natural 20, so she doubled her dice. Yeah. So it was just, but it was just still 7 points.
Is that a magical weapon?
No.
Okay, so it's 3.
Perfect. Yep,
Rook
absolutely.
just really fell over in the background just
Oh
in case
dear.
everyone missed that.
All right, and you move away, and you are now in the middle.
As she hits me, just for flavor, I'm gonna slap the sword with my hand.
Nice.
So it hits my arm, but I'm gonna deflect it.
Beautiful.
You are going.
Okay. It is Malestra's turn, and she is going to move. She's going to use her hand to move away, or she's simply going to make this gesture. But as she makes the gesture of pushing something aside, her hand becomes a second hand, and the hand gets larger and larger and ethereal. And Big B's hand appears next to this Drider, a large fist. And this is going to strike, and actually I'm going to use... Yeah, I'm just going to use clenched fist, which will simply try and engulf this Drider upper body. And it's going to make a spell attack roll for that.
Hell yeah.
That will hit on a 22. And that will do 4d8 force damage.
Nice.
Where is this? That's on her, okay.
While you're rolling that, I just want to say that NVC DM is in the chat.
Hey, MCDM.
It's been a while, buddy. We missed you.
It's yes. Thank you so much for coming on board and seeing them have a bit of a fight. See, that fist goes over the top and crushes the head and the neck of this creature, who is gasping for air as it unclenches again and simply stands. You can see even on the etherealness a little bit of blood, and you can see blood on her face. She's been pretty harmed. Amara, you're up.
Sorry, I was just moving Ben into the frame.
I'm here, guys.
I'm gonna look at Malestra and say, "This is all you." And then I'm gonna shadow jump away.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just counting where I want to go. I'm gonna go here.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just going to smack the back of this Drider.
All right, go for it.
The bulbous butt bit.
25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Got my plus to that.
So 20.
No. This is my damage. Oh my gosh, maths. You threw me off. 12.
12 points. Okay.
12 points of damage. And then I'm going to try and smack her again.
Go for it.
Oh, it hit my charging cable and jumped from like in the teens to a 6.
Ah.
Which is a 15 to hit.
It misses. Second attack misses.
Okay, that's my turn.
Alrighty. Okay. Thorum is just going to stand and attempt to inflict wounds one more time. So that's going to be another attack roll against the strider above him. That's better. That's actually going to hit. Good. So, with that in mind...
Michele, could you please do a dance? The shimmy has been requested.
Oh, what's the shimmy? I can't even remember. Like the... oh, gosh.
Just make it up.
Like a shake
Like, is it the shoulders? Like...
Yeah, but you use your arms as well. Yeah, good.
I love the duck lips.
That's beautiful.
Woman killer right there. Jeez.
Look at the shirt, he's got a button undone. Look at this guy. Smooth criminal. Okay.
I was more like I was fighting, but there's your shimmy. Hopefully that was it. I just had mind blank of what it was, but thank you. So...
I'm so glad that happened mid-fight. No, it's fine.
So true.
Thank you, Weird Judge, for redeeming that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so it's going to do that. He's going to go 3rd level this time. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5... 5d10.
Did it hit?
It hit, yeah, it hit.
Hell yeah, it hit.
To blow that spider up.
Inflict those wounds.
Expect 10s.
Alright, 27 points of damage there, which is
Hell yeah.
pretty huge. You can see that this necrotic energy, this black smoke enters into the Drider's body, and you can see bits and pieces of dead flesh just drop onto Thorum as it just dies and just disintegrates into nothing. And you can see Thorum just be covered by this blood and dead guts. He looks around, he says, I'm okay. And that is back up to Rook.
Okay, so I want to move maybe just 3 spaces diagonally to the top. Right. Yep. And I'm going to make a attack against Blue Girl.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Which is over 30.
Yep, that'll hit then.
And the one with the blue button.
Isn't that one dead?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, sorry, I read that wrong.
And that is 5 points of damage.
5 points, good to know.
And I'm going to go attack it again. And again, I'm going to concentrate here.
Okay.
That is a 16.
That will miss. The other arrow just flies over again, and they are still standing. The first arrow again hitting the bulbous backside of this Drider, and more of these spiders just spew out, and with that some dark blood. As they all try and escape, you can hear the sounds of like around. They're trying to find safety. Is that what you're doing, Rook?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, this Drider...
Can I move just 2 spaces down diagonally?
Which way? This way?
That way, yeah. And yeah, go on, continue. Sorry for
No, that's fine. This Strider will turn and just swipe 3 times at you, Amara, making 3 attacks with her longsword.
Okay.
And that is going to be... I can do this. That one, and then that one. Okay, so a 17,
Yep.
a 24, and an 8.
So I just kind of go, ow, ow.
The 2 hits against you. So let's do some damage.
I've had enough damage in my life. Thank you.
She is actually using 2 hands for this. So that's going to be 8 points of damage for the first strike.
Mhm.
And 13 points of damage for the second. Both slashing damage as 2 of them slice into you. You see your own blood on her sword, and she takes the sword back up and just licks it slightly.
Not sure how I feel about it yet.
Readies for another. That's her turn. The other one goes next. She is going to do 2 things. She's going to look down beneath her, see that Thorum is beneath her, trying to harm her, and she's going to look down and with one very gentle touch Thorum in the forehead, and Thorum needs to make a wisdom saving throw, which is a natural 4, so he does fail, and he is now still. He cannot move. He's considered paralyzed.
Wasn't he still before?
He was, but he did 30 points of damage to that. Yes, it was a spell.
Was that a spell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I count a spell?
You can, yeah. You automatically do that particular one, and Thorum is free to move around again. He slams out of that, and the Drider looks around to see the source of that magical effect, and hisses, but but her focus hasn't.
You're a child.
I'm a naughty boy.
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh, yeah, you are.
And with that, Gunnar, you're up.
I am gonna cast. No. What should I do? I'm gonna cast Pulse Wave again. But I will move
Totally.
back one more step.
Hmm.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, and 15. Actually, no, I need to move back one more. I don't want to get Amara. And I'm going to cast Pulse Wave on the one that's a bit acid on me.
Okay.
At 5th level, again. Big
Well, and it's a Constitution saving throw.
Correct.
It rolled a 12. You finally got one, Gunnar. Roll your damage.
Oh, I rolled shit. 27.
Oh, only a 27.
Yeah, 27.
What were they? What Ds were they?
That was several ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What dice?
Spell.
Virtual.
I can't even roll that amount of damage at all.
And not in one round, but you get multiple attacks. One attack. You get several attacks, and you add them all together, and it equals the same.
Getting
anyway,
schooled.
She gets pulled 15 feet toward me.
Okay.
Ah.
That is
Oh,
there.
actually, hang on. No, she gets pulled, hang on. 25 feet toward me.
She's pretty much on you now.
Cool.
You can see this force wave just get slammed, and the wind buffets towards her, and then it shifts and then this wind makes her almost jump and leap over. Yes, Rook.
Does Amara get an opportunity attack for that?
Not voluntary movement, no.
Damn.
No. Good call, though.
Kill these things.
Are you doing anything else, Gunnar? Cool. just a nice little sign of approval. Malestra's turn again. She is going to just yell at this creature and say, "Die!" And she is going to. Did you say sigh? Yeah, she's going to call lightning.
Ooh.
Clouds appear above her, these dark, brooding rain clouds, thick, not able to see, and within them you see these little lights start to flicker within them, and as they do, huge lightning and thunder all at the same time strike down towards this particular drider here, and I need it to make a dexterity saving throw. That actually passes, but so it takes half damage. So 5 points of damage for her. Okay. Right, and that's what it's going to do for now, and she is concentrating on that spell. Next up, Amara.
Cool. I'm gonna like watch as the person that I'm targeting gets pulled away from me, and I'm like, and then I'm gonna run over. And I am going to raise my staff, give it a little smacky smack.
All right.
Ugh. That was so bad. 14 I know doesn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try again. Ooh, 21.
That'll hit.
Could you please roll a con save?
Constitution saving throw, absolutely. That's going to be a 22.
Ugh.
Oof.
That is 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
13.
And that is my turn.
All right, Amara, you leap off one of these barrels that is broken on the floor and do a flip, and with that strength, bring your weight of the staff down on its back, and you make a huge dent into the back of this creature's thorax, and you can see that dark, stinky liquid is oozing out of it, as this wound just caves in a part of its back. With that, Thorum is going to look over. He's going to yell, "Anyone need healing?"
I wouldn't say no.
Is that a yes?
Well, it's not a no.
Okay, he's going to. Where is it? There. Oh, that's right. He is going to use his. Where is it? Fine. And then. There it is. You're going to get, immediately using his action, you're going to get 20 points of health back.
Yes.
As you can see this beam of light from his person to yours overtake you. And that's
I look
yeah.
like I look like I've just gotten out of the shower.
Beautiful and fresh. All right.
Fresh.
That's not the way I look when I'm out of the shower. It's all just little. The cleric doesn't do anything else. And with that, it is Rook's turn again.
Okay, so there's energy crackling around Rook at this point. And he draws his bow.
Mm-hmm.
And he shoots.
And he scores!
25?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Why is he counting so many dice?
I actually cannot remember at all.
Spray as well.
Cannot remember why. Who are you shoot? Which one are you shooting this towards? The red or the black?
We're shooting the red one this time.
Yeah, cool.
No, that's the red one.
That's blue.
That's black.
The black, sorry, black.
Okay.
The one there, Amara and Gun is on.
Okay, cool.
So that's 7, 8, 9, 13, 19, 24 points of damage.
24.
And then Gunnar and Amara, can you make dexterity saving throws?
Look at fucking Michele. Does the spider have to as well?
That one doesn't, no.
Oh, that was good.
You're okay.
24.
8.
So, as Onatar's blessing has fired from my hand, lightning has engulfed, I'm assuming, the spider.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody within a 10-foot radius need to make a dexterity saving throw or they suffer 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
So Gunnar, you're striked with lightning.
Shit.
But Amaya, you're okay.
And I lose my second.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, which is a
that a 1?
It's a 1, yeah. So that's a
Karma for hurting your friend.
15.
It does not hit.
Does not hit. All right, and nothing happens.
Okay. All right, is that your turn? Don't want to move it anywhere else?
If I can move, I'm going to. Yeah, I can move. I'm going to position myself 3 points up
Mm-hmm.
from the direction I'm in. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So, next up, we have the Drider in question, who just got slammed with lightning and with damage from Rook. She is going to still probably, with that strike from behind her, she's getting attacked from all corners. She's going to focus on probably, I'd say, one each. She's going to make one strike attack against you, Gunnar, first with her longbow. And that's going to be a 14 to hit. What was that? I can't hear you.
Shield.
Okay, shield is up. The second strike goes against Amara. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
It misses.
And then it's going to pull out a longbow with another 2 legs and fire a shot at Rook.
Opportunity attack.
Yeah, actually, can I just say, it's attacked someone within 5 feet of me, so I'm absolutely going to make use of Sentinel.
Yep, I'll just be a second then, and then you can certainly do that. That actually will hit. That's a 23 to hit, Rook.
You don't know my armor. Oh, dope. You do hit me, yeah.
Yeah?
You hit me.
Okay. All right then. All right, so this one does 9 points of piercing damage. And Amara, go for it.
So I
heal 9, yeah.
I just rolled, and I rolled my first nat 20 in forever.
Hey,
So
nice.
I'm
That would be a
dice.
Kraken if you're watching.
Mm.
Please support us.
Shut up. That's 15 points of damage.
15
That's
points
pretty
of
good.
damage. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
they're both looking pretty hurt. And that's its turn. The other Dryder is going to go next. She's just going to lay 3 strikes down on Malestra.
Ew.
3 long sword strikes. The first one will miss. The second one will hit. And the third one will hit. So 2 strikes there. That is 9 and 6.
Can I ask what round we're in? Just so I track my...
From there, you were in your 4th.
Okay, good to know.
All right. So Malestra gets sliced twice with this longsword, but she doesn't appear too affected. A couple of shallow cuts, and Gunner, you're up.
I will move to there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will cast Pulse Wave again. At
All
third level.
right, go for it. The Constitution saving throw again, and that will be an 8.
Alright. That is a 24.
24.
Force. Yep.
Okay.
And it gets pushed this time 15 feet away from me.
The force wave slams this creature, and as you can see, its legs and its body start to curl up with just utter surprise. You can see beyond this creature there are rocks and rubble and some spiked pieces of timber. It gets just slammed up against the wall beyond. Further and further it goes, and as it does, it catches a couple of these timber pieces and they skewer her body. And you watch as she comes to a standstill and simply rocks on these legs and collapses completely. And that destroys her.
Woo, 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 woo!
All right. All right, is that all you're doing, Gunnar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. For the combat, yeah.
Okay. Malestra turns towards this other creature and shouts at her, "You will not tell your family about this. You will die here." And with that, another fireball just gets brought out of her very being, and she uses both hands to slam it down onto this creature's body.
Does
And
that have full room?
you don't know.
Isn't the one the one that's up top?
No, it's all right.
Why is he still there? Move, Thoran!
Who's...
She fails the dex saving throw. Does Thorum? No, Thorum misses the dex saving throw as well.
He's a
Blow me up.
He's fine.
He's Dragonborn. He's got resistance to fire, right?
Fire's like water to him.
Dibs on his mace.
Yeah. The Dryder just gets crisped by this fireball, and she collapses as well with a wail. Ah! And you find that her body is... Thorum actually just darts out in time as her slow fall and her burnt body dies into a heap
Yes.
on the ground.
Oh, how good's your own voice there, Michele?
I love it. So, two Driders laying dead on the ground. Malestra breathing heavily, and all of you somewhat affected by the battle just past, almost trapped, but escaped. Spiders are starting to rid the children of these Drider, these hundreds of little 8-legged creatures are skittering away into whatever holes they can escape to.
Kip's just running around.
You hear beyond the muffled voice of Valsa, still in the web. Malestra turns and she starts to speak, but then she stops as you all hear it. This beating over, methodical and over, somewhere in the bowels of this enormous mountain. And it continues, and Malestra turns to you all with this, from a focused, fierce look to a smile. And she says to you, "The armies of the Morrowholds are coming." And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Hey!
Awesome. Wow, that was a nice. Well done, you. You all. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody else for watching us. That's a wrap for 1 week. And cross fingers, hopefully next week we'll be able to sit together
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Yeah.
If I can, just follow up on a tweet that I posted on the Twitter today. In case everyone didn't see it or in case people don't follow us, restrictions in Queensland, we do not get any updates until the 22nd of January. So in terms of what our health and safety plan looks like, please just keep an eye on the Twitter and we will update you as soon as we have any form of updates. We are just as anxious to get back in the same room as I'm sure you guys are to have us in the same room. But otherwise, thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. And shout out to D and Dead Inside, who has stayed for this entire session. It's a second session here. Welcome to the Fates Group family.
Yeah. We look forward to you joining us when we're actually at a table.
Yeah,
That would
definitely.
be exciting.
Oh,
Exciting for all
we
of us.
totally forgot. The prizes that D and Dead Inside actually wins is they'll be naming an NPC for us.
You get to name an NPC for us.
Maybe a dwarf one. That's going to be.
Who knows?
Anyone. We'll maybe do some Twitter messaging to you personally, and discuss that further. That'd be amazing.
How exciting!
Cool. Excellent. Well, I'll leave it there. Again, thank you everybody. If you do catch us over the next week, in between we might have, we might go on stream for something, maybe games or something else. But otherwise, have an amazing night, and we'll see you all next Tuesday again.
See you guys. Thanks for joining. Be kind to one another.